Greetings, viewers, and welcome to another sleight of hand review. And today we're looking at a twofer. We have Knockout from the Transformers R.E.D. Robot Enhanced Design line, and we have a B.A.T, which is the Battle Android Trooper from the G.I. Joe Classified series. And these were a recent pickup. These are very hard to get right now. Everybody's trying to get them. And, these are new to the shelves. Hasbro just announced them officially, but I got him just like a few days before they announced it. So, without further ado, we'll do Knockout first, and then we'll knock him out, and then we'll do the B.A.T. So here we have Knockout from Transformers Prime. Anybody who's watched Prime definitely knows about Knockout. Really, everything came together for this character. I think they had a really good personality, really good writing. He was kind of sarcastic. He was kind of self-absorbed. He was a bit of a crazy doctor type, but he wasn't too like mad scientist. He was just really into his work. He loved what he did. And as he would say, he's not just an automobile, he's an automobile enthusiast. So, Knockout, really, a lot of fans love Knockout. I believe he's in the Transformers Hall of Fame. And the voice actor, who I don't know offhand, but I'll credit here on screen, really brought this character together. And he was not a frontline Decepticon, but he mostly hung back at the base, but he was definitely a very prominent character in Transformers Prime. So the box here is a pretty standard red layout. You have a little bit of character art on the front, a window showing your character inside. Some of that art carries over here. You get a view of the accessories, and we'll talk more about those in a bit. And the back shows, some details, some accessory usage, close-up of his face, more accessory usage. As Robo would say, your winning lottery numbers are down here. It's more legalese down there. Yep. So, Transformers Prime. I was late to watching Transformers Prime. Basically, once I got out of college, got myself a job, I wasn't really collecting, I wasn't really watching Transformers. Beast Wars was, in the 90s, was basically my last Transformers show for a while. And, I grew into a man and ended up collecting not Transformers, but swords for a while. And do you know your Oakshot topology? Because I don't. I don't remember any of it. But, I came into Transformers Prime in the mid to late 2000 teens. So I missed the boat on it initially, but I caught up with it, and now, kind of like what most middle-aged men do, I had a midlife crisis and started buying a ton of toys. So without further ado, let's get into the review here, and we'll unbox Knockout, take him out of the box, and get a closer look. Here we are with Knockout and his accessories. Let's take a quick look at these accessories, and as you can see, he has an open hand. In addition to his gripping hands that are on him, he has a single fist. He has a drill. He has a piece of pasta. This is another drill. It's very bendy, which is a good thing and a bad thing. He has a saw blade, unpainted. And he has his staff. So, let me say this. Hasbro. Hasbro, let's talk. Hasbro's not watching this, I'm sure. But Hasbro, I'll do Hasbro heart hands all day long when you do something right. But these R.E.D. figures, these basically unpainted accessories. I mean, the saw blade is kind of the worst offender. There's not any paint on here. Nothing makes this interesting. It's just flat gray plastic. The drill hand here, you could get away with it a little bit more, but God, come on. And the staff, again, just black plastic, no detail. But that's not really my biggest problem with the red line. I have to say, I've handled a lot of action figures. I've handled everything from 1000 Toys to Hasbro to Playmates to Mafex to SH Figure Arts and Robot Damashi. I've handled a lot of action figures, and even in Hasbro's own lines, like G.I. Joe, Black Series, Marvel Legends, the Red Series really falls short of a standard that they themselves are setting. This guy is better than their RC, and I'll talk about her in a minute, but as you can see, he's just wobbly. There's no stability. And the plastic on here, like a lot of their red figures, is almost like it's gummy and so bendy. Like just within the plastic itself is like you can bend the joints. Nothing really, well, I won't say nothing because some of it feels pretty solid, but where it matters, it's like it almost feels like a toy, like an action figure you've heated up to make more pliable because the joints were frozen, and it stays like that. It's like always like that. It doesn't firm up again. A lot of their red figures are like this, and is it the plastic type they're using? Probably. Is it them cutting corners? Probably. It's really unfortunate because you almost unbox any of their other figures, and the hand feel is almost infinitely better than Red. I don't know why. I do know why. Probably, I don't know why, but I can speculate, and I can say that they're probably, cutting costs. They're keeping Red, the budget for it low, so they can get it out there as an offering, but, they're not soaking top dollar into it, and that's unfortunate. But if you don't mind a bit of wobbliness, if you don't mind a bit of bendiness, you can get these guys into pretty good poses. They look pretty decent, so let's go over that right now, really. There's not a tremendous amount of paint on him. As you can see, it's a little bit of yellows picked out in his headlights. His head, his head crest is a little bent, but I can fix that. I'll work on that. His head itself, not too bad. These wheels are separate on him in the package, and I'm surprised that they actually turn. I'm shocked. I figured they'd be a solid piece. But yeah, alright, well, we can do paint, we can do articulation. There ain't much for paint. There ain't much on him. On the sides here is the most, that's the most painted part, really, aside from his wheels and his collar here on the inside. But yeah, we'll just do the articulation run real quick. Head can look up, not really, down a little bit, but it does have a swivel. I think you could probably get a bit more in there, but I almost feel like I don't know where the limit is in terms of what's just kind of sluggish and maybe detented, and what is actually bending plastic and what might actually stress plastic and break it. But for arms, whoa, you see that? That's his bicep. You get a rotation, and maybe you get an outward without pulling. That's what I mean. It's like you're pulling his bicep out of his arm. This one moves better. All right, so maybe we just need to heat that one up a bit. His arm goes out a bit. He has bicep swivel. He has a nice double jointed elbow. That is actually very nice. I'll give it to him on that. And Again, there's paint there. His wrist swivels, and he has a hinge on it. It goes in and out, like that, not up and down. And this hand also goes in and out. He has a waist twist. He does have an ab crunch. It's a little, well, it's very limited. Let's not be kidding ourselves here. It does go forward a bit. It goes back more, which isn't bad, actually. Some of their red figures, especially RC, her upper body starts to come apart when you use her ab crunch forward, but backward is better. Ugh. Anyway, his legs kick forward that far. Back, not bad. They start to go out to the side, but not bad. He can do the Johnny Cage. Thigh swivel is a cut joint there. Single jointed knee. Not terrible though. That's alright. 90 degrees. And he has nothing at the feet except for something in the front here. He has a little bit of a... Well, it definitely rocks, so you can get the wide poses. But it's supposed to be like a swivel, but there's really not much travel on that. And it almost feels like I'm gonna break it. So, yeah. Eesh. So, yeah, knockout from Red. Again, really not... That's my cat in the background. Really not a stellar offering in terms of their improvements in their joints, their plastic feel. It's just kind of a... It's kind of disappointing. Less disappointing than other Red figures. There are C. I'll bring her out. For a quick size comparison, there are C, because of her design being thin in some areas, very lanky. It was true to her character. I mean, she turned into a motorcycle, so she had to compact down pretty good. Her design really highlights some of the problems with Red in terms of some of these joints just feel like they're gonna bend and pop as you manipulate them. And her figure in particular has this chest piece that comes off, this waist piece that travels up and down, and it's just as you're trying to enjoy this figure, it's not really enjoyable. It's kind of unfortunate. So, Red knockout. Is he a knockout? Well, we don't really have many knockout figures of this character. This version of him, we don't have much to compare to, and I think fans were kind of hungry to get a character, to get a figure of Knockout, and now that we have him, it's better than nothing. But is he great? No, he's not great. He's pretty good. I like him, but he's far from a knockout. So we'll see how things stack up to the G.I. Joe Classified Battle Android Trooper in a bit. I can tell you right now, the Bat is more than likely going to be a lot better than R.E.D. Knockout. But let's go over there now and take a closer look at that. And here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Bat, Battle Android Trooper. If the lighting looks a little different, it's because I have more lights. They arrived halfway through this review, and I wanted to set them up right away, and I got excited, and then I said to myself, boy, it's going to look different, the old footage to the new. But yeah, more lights. So, what I really like about the classified packaging is, unlike some of Hasbro's other lines, they aren't yet shying away from the window packaging, so you see almost everything that's included with your figure. And for something like the Bat, here at least, it's great because you can see you get a lot. They do intend these figures as an army builder, so when you pick up one, you're potentially getting a variant of many. So you naturally want to pick up 16 million of these things if you're into that sort of thing. But yeah, on the front here, they typically show a piece of artwork that's original, designed specifically for the packaging. I kind of wish they'd credit the artist. I don't believe they do anywhere on the packaging. I've seen people talk about that and say, why isn't this artist credited? So I would be nice to see. So I know sometimes in their live streams they talk about who the artist is on certain things, but they don't just throw it on the packaging that I can see. But yeah, and they have like this file card thing that you have to research on the website. I'm not that dedicated into it, but and the back art is this big collage of characters that they've released so far. Yeah, you see, I don't think anybody's new on here. They have like Red Ninjas, they have Duke, Roadblock, they have the Alley Vipers. They have some vehicles like what are these, Trouble Bubbles, I think they're called, and the Rattler, among other things. Yeah, so I like the packaging, and I like that it shows off what's inside. Hasbro's trying to get away from plastic, so I don't know how much longer this will last, but we'll take it while we get it. For G.I. Joe, I got out of G.I. Joe before I got out of Transformers. Late 80s, early 90s, G.I. Joe was, I stopped collecting. I had a lot. I had a lot of vehicles. I had the Rolling Thunder. I had the Crusader Space Shuttle. I had all kinds of stuff. I had the General. I mean, I had all kinds of things. I didn't have a flag. I didn't have a USS flag. I had no room to put an aircraft carrier. But I lost touch with G.I. Joe pretty early on in terms of my life. And the Classified series is kind of bringing me back to it. I like a lot of what they're putting out. I'm being way more choosy about what I pick up. If a character or figure doesn't really appeal to me, I'm just not getting it because I don't have the room to put, to just devote shelves and shelves to characters that don't really strike my fancy. But that said, I do have a ton of these that I haven't unboxed yet. So, and not bats. I have a ton of other characters. But yeah, let's get him out of here and take a closer look at him and see what he's all about. All right, and now he's out of his box and he has a lot of accessories. Now, my misgivings about unpainted accessories continues. You can see that they work on a lot of sculpted detail for this, but nothing is really picked out with any paint. That's unfortunate. But you do get a plethora of accessories. He has a undamaged chest plate to go over his chest. He has a damaged chest plate. He has attachments for his arms. Flamethrower. This is, I imagine, a laser cannon. Yeah, probably. He has a gun. He has a claw. The claw is not articulated. It is just that shape. He has an alternate head. So the value for this guy right off the bat comes in, like I said, he's basically an army builder. You want to have disposable troops. These are android robot disposable troops. And with that in mind, you want to kind of do up their look a little differently. So we can make him pristine and perfect. Say he just rolled off the Cobra assembly line. And we'll play around with a few more of his accessories, but going hands-on with him, he feels way better, way more solid, way different from R.E.D. Red Knockout. He's way more in line with other classified figures, but also Black Series, Marvel Legends, the McFarlane stuff too. Like that, there's just more quality here. There's a little more weight to him. I mean, Knockout is weighty, but he's not as loose. You know, see, there's no like real wobble to him, and nothing feels gummy. I mean, this all feels really, really like stiff plastic, good joints. You know, it's a really big difference. But let's go over articulation real quick. Obviously, you have a twist on your head. He can look up, he can look down, and that is a double joint in there. There's a joint at the bottom of the neck and a joint at the top for a bit of, yep, you can get, not bad. You could probably push that a little further. For his arms, obviously, you go all the way around, come out to the side, and go up a little further. He's got biceps swivel, twist, twivel. I did that again? Jeez. His hands, these hands go in and out. These hands also go in and out. So they're not up and down like gun hands, unfortunately. Ab crunch goes forward a good bit. Back, pretty good. And obviously there's a waist twist. That's got like detents on it. It's like it's almost got positions it wants to be in. But not bad, really. His thighs, I don't think there's a drop down joint. Can't quite tell. But his thighs go forward that far. I guess that is drop down. Yeah, it is. You just have to loosen it up a bit. So to try to get you a little more range, they drop it down. I don't know how successful that really is, but he does have a thigh twist. That's hidden by that little accessory there, but you could see it more on this side where it is. He has a holster. And he's got a double jointed knee that can go back pretty far. And he's got feet. Feet can come forward and go back. And obviously, you have a twist to rock the ankle like that. So not bad. I think this joint feels a little... This feels like it might need a little bit of shock oil in it to loosen it up some. Okay, just a quick update. I did throw some shock oil in here on the leg. I really didn't want to push it too far, but as you can see now, nice and smooth, and he can do pretty much a full split, so not too bad with the Johnny Cage. And coming far forward, even with the drop down, it's only that far forward, and really not much back. Overall, not terrible. And he's pretty sturdy when he stands up. Do some quick size comparisons. There he is with a Fortnite Lynx, I believe. Hasbro's Fortnite line. They won the line from McFarlane. No, from they won the line from Jazzwares. So now they're doing Fortnite figures. I like this figure a lot, actually. And, well, we could put him next to Knockout. Here he is with the Baroness. And Commando Snake Eyes. And Timber. And I really love what Hasbro has been doing with the animal companions here. They're very articulated for something that isn't humanoid at all. They've packed in a lot of engineering for the legs and the feet, so you can get a lot of poses in here. There's a mid-body cut joint, there's a head, a neck, the tail. I mean, there's way more articulation in this wolf than I would have expected. And they did the same for their Drizzt figure from Forgotten Realms. His big cat, Guinevere, also decked out. And they're doing Crocmaster, and they're doing Spirit. I mean, these guys all have animal companions. I love to see it. So, final thoughts for the Bat here. This is a pretty great figure. He's definitely got a higher build quality than say Red Knockout, more in line with Hasbro's other offerings, which is good. I like consistency. For your $1, it's what you should expect. Some of his joints were a little froze or a little tough to operate, particularly this one knee, this one elbow here. I think his leg is, this left leg here is a little, at the hip joint is a little problematic. I'll have to throw some shock oil in there. So it's not without its problems in that regard, that, you know, you don't want to break the 20, I think they're going for $24.99 now, or very nearly that. Hasbro's figures have gone up in price. I understand, you know, things never remain the same, but for that money, you want to get a good figure. And I think with the articulation and the options here, you have a great figure. Is it touch-worthy, where I would go gloves off and give it my highest rating? No, it's not. But it is pretty great. For the price point, for the amount of options, if you want a bunch of bats for an army or for just a few shots or whatever you're going to do with them, you have options here to make them look a little different. And I know some makers are creating 3D printed translucent chest plates so you can see the detail that's under there. And I think that's true to the toy. I don't quite remember. I think that's where that's coming from. For some reason, they made them opaque, which, fine, whatever. But yeah, overall, not bad on the bat. For Knockout, final thoughts, could do a lot better. Definitely not touch-worthy. I'm also not going to pitch it in the trash, but they could do better with all their Red figures. Some are a little better than others, but all are pretty much sticking around the same quality point, which is try harder, Hasbro. It's Transformers. It's a line that you own. You're not paying any royalties to Marvel or Lucasfilm or anything like that. So, you know, give us some love here with these non-transforming action figures. Their gimmicks are that they don't, you know, there aren't any real gimmicks except accessories and their look. So they could do better with that. So, what is the verdict overall?
Folks, these robots are hot.
Not bad. Knockout could be better. The Bat is pretty close to great. No real major issues on him. Just kind of the issues that come along with the Red line. So be it. But yeah, this was a fun review. I think my next review will be probably a few more classified series figures. I may do this guy. This is such a small thing, I'm probably going to throw him in with another review that's of something, a single. And we can do that. So yeah, if you at all like this review, you know, give me a like. If you care to subscribe, that'd be nice too. I really appreciate it. And from Knockout and the Battle Android Trooper here, take care of yourselves and each other, and have a great one.